Hey guys, welcome back to the Natty scene. How are you? I hope you're good. We are all good over here. We got Jack Piad at the other end. We've got a guest today, so very much looking forward to getting into this episode and also giving you guys like a little bit of an update on where he's at, his off season, and what he's got planned for this year. Because it's been a very good phase, good productive off season for Jack by the looks of things on social media. Obviously, I'm very close to Jack, so I know how things have been going for him. I know he's made plenty of improvements. I've been training very hard and think very similarly to me and George. So it's nice to have a very sort of like-minded individual on the podcast as well that has similar thoughts and views. And of course, as always, we'll do like a little bit of where me and George are at, but we'll get into some listener questions for Jack as well. Just generally have a bit of a discussion. So thanks for tuning in as always, and we'll rock and roll. So how are you doing, first of all, Jack? Like, what's going on at the moment? Where are you at, like, right now? And just, generally how things are going.
Yeah, so first off, thanks, guys, for having me on. Very privileged to be on the podcast with two superb individuals. So, yeah, everything's been going great, really. Obviously, I finished my last prep in 2018, so I've had a pretty good run of training since then. With minimal niggles, really. I've just been training hard. I can see AJ laughing about something.
Run,
yeah, good fun.
What does a run mean?
We used to say just a really efficient block.
Run, yeah.
But yeah, I had a really, really, really good off season. Like, progressed all of my lifts. Haven't fucked around trying to stay lean like most people do and make no progress. I've actually pushed my body weight up to being pretty heavy, pretty fat, pretty heavy, pretty unfit, but like there's no doubt that I've made a ton of progress. Like, obviously I've sent you pictures, AJ, I've made a significant amount of progress. And yeah, it's just been really fun. I've enjoyed the off season. I've got very used to being in an off season, which is kind of weird. I got quite used to being quite chilled out around food and just not really giving a shit about anything, like being very lax with my steps. And like, I've done 900 steps today. I just don't care. I've just been so focused on my gym sessions. Like, you know what I mean? When you get up in the morning, you're so obsessed about what you're going to do in the gym. You don't give a shit about trying to burn calories anymore. You're just like, I need to progress everything I'm doing. So I know going into this prep that I've maximized my off season. So I know I'm going to be improved, and I'm just excited to go into another fat loss phase and just first off feel a bit healthier, because I feel pretty fucking awful at the moment, just in regards to how I feel day to day. Like, really heavy, can't really move very well. Skin's pretty dreadful, just a bit too fat, just a bit fat, a bit beaten up, like we were saying the other day, AJ, on WhatsApp. Like, we just need to diet, But yeah, excited for sure to go into a prep again and get peeled. Yeah.
So a lot of people would have followed your prep in 2018.
Yeah, sure.
And like, obviously, I think the background of that prep you can explain, but I know exactly what happened, because obviously I was coaching you right when we were sort of like making the decision of whether you were going to prep or not. And actually, like, the whole prep started with a mini cut, didn't it? Because we were mini cutting around Christmas. So, like, basically, for the listeners, explain what you did wrong and what do you think like was the main reason why in 2018 you ended up, like, by the end of it, not looking as well, definitely not looking as good as you could have done.
Yeah, so I started a mini cut back. I remember it was 2017. It was about November. I had no appetite. I remember saying to AJ, I was like, I need to do something else. I can't continue gaining. And we started mini cut. I mini cutted for it was 10, 12 weeks. And I just started really getting obsessed with dieting. And this was November, December, January. So by the time, like, for example, if I would have started prep in November, I would have already been dieting for 4 months by now. So I dieted for 9 months before my first show, at least. When reality is I probably should have competed 6 months into the diet. But when you get so obsessed with dieting and getting leaner and leaner and leaner, you just forget about being a bodybuilder and you think it's a dieting show. There were phases in that prep where I actually looked really good, but then I just tried to take off too much fat. Reality is I was just taking off muscle because I didn't really have the muscle underneath to continue taking off fat. I remember there was times when AJ was like, Jack, you just need to stop. And I was obsessed. And at this point, I was taking control of my nutrition. When in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have just listened. But I suppose that's how you learn. And that's why I know that for a fact I won't make that mistake again going into this prep.
Yep.
So I've just learned a fuckload from that. But if anyone's looking to prep in future years, the goal is to be a good bodybuilder, not to be a competitive dieter. Remember that. You don't get judged on how much you weigh on stage. It's about things like muscularity, fullness, condition, of course, but it's not just how lean you are, because that is where people go wrong these days, I think.
Yeah.
Similar to me, exact same as me. Over dieted, wanted more. And as a junior, what more, like, I was ready and I didn't need any more to come off. Like, what was the point in taking off 2 additional pounds when I was the smallest and shortest on stage anyway?
It gets obsessive, doesn't it? It gets so obsessive. But this happened to AJ as well, because I remember when he was prepping in 2017, I was training with him quite a lot when we were the underground, and he was looking really good. And I remember he looked the best I've ever seen him at the Northern UK DFBA. And if you compare pictures from then to the final, he just looks like a different person. That's correct though, right?
It is, yeah, 100%.
That look was phenomenal. I remember Mark came up to you when we were sitting in the auditorium. Do you remember? And he was like, you were like, what do I need to do? And you were like, nothing. Do you remember?
Yeah, it did. Actually, what's that Mark? I think that was John Harris.
Oh, was it?
John Harris, yeah. I thought you meant Big Mark at Underground Gym.
Oh, no.
I was like, why was Mark there?
Oh, hell no, he wasn't there.
So yeah, no, John Harris came up to me at the Northern and he just said, like, just don't do anything.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm in like the exact same. And in my head, that meant, and all of our heads, it's the same thing. That means I'm going to prove you fucking wrong, which is horrible because, like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I was maybe 1% leaner, but I was also 5% or 10% less muscular and more like lost of fullness. So it's just a poor decision. And I think all 3 of us possess the same sort of personality in the sense that, we just want to do as much as possible and drag off as much body fat as we can. Like that's just something that I think we're very obsessive and dedicated in what we do. So yeah, I think moving on from that in the prep scenario as well, obviously like you did a lot of shows and you competed quite a few times.
Yeah.
Was it for you when you were like looking to obviously achieve something within that year? How did you deal with the multiple placings that you got, which weren't exactly what you wanted? Like, did you find that was veering you towards, thinking, oh, fuck this, I'm not going to do any more? Or do you think that wanted you like to sort of review and get better? How did you handle the losses of that year?
Well, I just looked at it as, I remember I just wanted to do multiple shows to gain quite a lot of experience, because I knew that I thought that looking at that year, I could have won a show 100% if I didn't compete against Luke Austin. I would have won that show, right?
Yeah. I feel it wasn't there.
But he was a freak, so I knew I could have won a show. I didn't win a show, but it just is what it is. I just looked at the year as trying to accumulate a lot of experience in the bodybuilding industry and just learning how it feels to compete, actually follow through with a diet, actually get lean and all the show day kind of stuff and how to deal with it. It didn't really, at no point did I ever think, fuck this, I'm not going to do it again. I just knew that it was just a start for me in the industry as a bodybuilder, and I knew I could be better, providing that I just took the time away to actually accumulate the muscle. But like, yeah, I was kind of, the first show went pretty well. The second show I wasn't happy with. The third show, when I did the Southern at the UK DFB, I was happy with, because for me, I was diced. Like, I couldn't have taken any more fat off. I was like 145 pounds, like fucking skinny as hell. And then, yeah, like from there, I wasn't disappointed really, because I knew I gave everything I could. Like, I don't see how you can be disappointed when you've rinsed it. Like, what else can you do? You can't control who turns up, can you? So yeah, like, I just knew that I definitely wanted to compete again in the following years. And I also knew that if I had a structured off season, I could come back like 5-6 pounds more muscular, which there's no doubt in my mind that I've done that for this year. So yeah, I always loved it, and I love the process, and not one time that I think like, fuck this, I don't want to lose again. Like, if anything, losing makes me love it more, because it makes me think to myself, okay, now I've lost last year or the year before, there's no fucking chance I'm losing the shows I'm doing this year, which is not, it's just not going to happen, because I know what it feels like to be called second and it's not great. Like George probably does. Like when you get called second, you just feel like shit. And then like same with you when you didn't win the BNBF finals, right? You probably felt like fuck. Like what the hell's this? You just don't feel good, do you? But it makes you want to come back better. So if anything, it just taught me a load really to come back improved.
Yeah, I think I'm very similar to you as well. Regarding literally everything you said, I totally agree with it. When I got called out for second as well, I was just like, fuck's sake, because we don't do this to come second, you know. You want to win. You want to win, and
22nd, man, bullshit.
What made me realise is that if I won everything in my first year of competing, I'd be like, well, what's next? You know, I didn't know, but that now has given me the motivation because every single, and you probably got the same with your feedback from the judges was need more muscle, and you kind of knew what you needed to do every time, but there's not much you can do about it other than just time and taking time away from the stage. So yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are you going to do differently this time round prep wise?
It's a good question. Not diet for as long.
One spot is yours. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to make sure that I don't fuck off all of my muscle like I did last time, because I know now for a fact that I've got the most muscle I've ever had in my life. And for bodybuilding standards in the off season, I'm not that fat. And for most people would probably look at me, a normal person would be like, you're not fat at all, obviously. But for me, I'm in pretty okay shape for the weight I'm at. So the goal was just to not diet off all my muscle and remember that I'm competing as a bodybuilder, not a competitive dieter. And remember that it's not just a striated glute competition. It's a muscularity, presentation, fullness, obviously condition. It's all of them joined into one. So it's just basically being a mature individual when it comes to actually wanting to be a bodybuilder, and just being smart with making better decisions, backing off when I need to back off, and just having more knowledge regarding bodybuilding will excel me forward, I think. And like I said, I think I've got more than enough muscle to do some damage for sure, especially in areas that I've brought up, which is exciting.
Yeah, for sure. What areas did you think that when you were in 2018 needed the most improvements? Did you get feedback from judges, or was it just your own sort of like looking at your physique, this sucks, whatever?
I think I didn't really get any per se feedback from any judges. They didn't say any body part, but I think everything needed to be better. Mainly my posterior chain just had to be better, which it is. There's no doubt about that. It is better. I think I've brought up areas like my shoulders, my chest, my arms look the biggest they've ever been, ever. Things like glutes, quads have improved, I think. But the biggest thing will be my back, 100%, because I've just been hammering it, like just been obsessed with getting a better back. And when you train with intent every session and you get stronger with accurate, accuracy in your training, you're going to improve. You get heavier, you get stronger. It's going to be better, isn't it? It just has to be better by default.
Mm-hmm. What's the like? So you went into off season, back needs to improve. How did you go about approaching that? Was it a certain way that you programmed back? Was it certain exercise selection? Was it things that you hadn't done before in the gym? For someone who's watching this and their back is not where it needs to be, what would you say they need to do?
First off, learn how to contract your back. For a long time, I was doing rows and I really wasn't getting any scapular retraction at all. I was just basically doing a bicep pull, essentially. So first off, address execution. Secondly, obviously you can look at training frequency, so you can look to increase the amount of times you're training back throughout a week. And thirdly, obviously then you can look to add things like intensity methods and just training that area with intensity. But unless you have execution nailed, then intensity is going to do fuck all for your physique. Like, unless you can contract a muscle group, you're not going to improve it, regarding how fucking nuts you get on a T-bar row. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Agreed. How many times are you training your back at the moment? Are you training it twice a week, 3 times a week? Have you tried different frequencies? Have you found stuff that works better or worse?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm training back 3 times a week. So I do a pull session at the start of the week. I do an upper, so I have quite a lot of volume in that. And I'm also tagging in lat work on my first lower body day and my upper body day. No, and my second lower body. So my first lower body day is a lat dominant row.
Okay.
Cool down, sorry. And my second leg day is going to be an upper back row. So throughout the week I'm training back about 3 or 4 times a week. So a decent amount of frequency.
Is the top up work just high rep, like metabolic style stuff?
Yeah. So it's just squeeze work, just basically creating a better. Yeah, it's just making sure that I'm getting good contractions and I'm reinforcing contractions rather than just, it's easy to just throw around loads when you're fucking angry and shit in the gym, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that you're doing sometime? Do you go for a stage of where you think you're doing too much? Like, bring that up, but sometimes there comes a point where you are doing it too much and you're not getting much out of it. Like, for example, let's say for me, I sometimes hit my legs too much, and I can't simply recover from it. Do you think 3 times a week is optimal, or twice a week, or is it a case of that works for you right now?
Yeah, I think it's very much individual dependent and based on someone's ability to recover from the amount of work you're doing. For me, when I go back into do another bit of back work, I'm not ever sore. So I'm recovering from everything that I'm doing. If I was to go into my 3rd lot of back work and I was a bit sore, I just wouldn't do it because your training volume must match your recovery capabilities, right? So it wouldn't make any sense to do work that I can't recover from. So, but at the moment, with my calories being high, with stress being reasonably low-ish, it's not that low really, but with me feeling pretty good at the moment, just generally with other things that are good in my life are making my life less stressful in other areas. I feel like I'm in a position where I can recover from quite a lot of work. But if I wasn't recovering, George, good question, I wouldn't do the work. Just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm like that as well. If I can get more, I'll do more. But if I feel like I'm sore, I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I agree.
Oh, go ahead, George. Go on.
So when are you looking to start prep exactly?
Tomorrow, mate. Tomorrow morning is the start of prep. 2020 prep. Hashtag 2020. It will show in 2020.
The question is, Jack, when you vlogging, I've heard you bought the camera.
I've got a camera.
I've heard the content's coming.
I've got a camera, yeah.
Yeah. Every post. I've bought a camera. I might get a camera.
I've got the camera you recommended me to get.
What, the Sony?
Yeah, I just need to do it. But I've just been so busy with coaching. You know what it's like.
Yeah, just no time to vlog.
It's just difficult, mate, isn't it? I have spoken to Mark Boyce at Phoenix Gym if I can have someone just like record training sessions there.
Yeah, sure.
So I will try to do some stuff. I couldn't. When I was going to release more stuff, I told you, didn't I? I got told off. I got like in trouble from the underground for trying to film shit like that.
Yeah. Do you think on the video content side of things, do you think you're going to more so aim for like YouTube style, or are you going to start putting it back on your members site and relaunch that? Have you made a decision on that yet or not?
I will because the member site's ready to go. It's done. I just need to film.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
It's all done, so I just need to film content. What I'll probably do is, because I've got quite a few clients prepping this year and quite a few people who I train with quite often, so I'm going to basically see if I can get some videographers to go and film those guys training and getting them to explain where they're at in their preps. And obviously I'd like to have 2 videos up of me a week, just going over sort of like maybe like a prep update and maybe like a couple of sessions perhaps, and then get them up on a site, and also release some YouTube stuff as well, just for people who want to follow along.
Yeah, perfect.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I think that's a good balance. When it comes to your split for the prep, are you going to change anything at all? Are you going to like manipulate some of those back volume days, or are you going to stick with, because your split at the moment is the 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Are you just going to rock and roll with that, or do you think you might change it at all, reduce frequency, or are you just going to play it by ear?
At the start, I'm going to change nothing because like my calories aren't going to be crazy low. Like at an off season, they're so high. So I'm still going to be eating plenty of food to be able to train like I am at the moment. I don't, obviously, if I'm not recovering, I'll just scope back the amount of work I'm doing. It's just being smart with it, really. But I don't see the need to change my split when it's worked so well.
Yeah,
especially going into a diet.
Sure.
How much are you weighing now?
I was 195.2 pounds yesterday morning. I didn't weigh in this morning. So yeah, it's about 195 pounds.
The lightweight cutoff is 154, isn't it?
It is 154, yeah.
Have you got an ideal weight in mind or range that you're kind of looking to be at?
I don't know, mate, to be honest. I don't think I've got like 40 pounds to come off, personally.
No.
I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea. Like, I don't really think I don't know. Like, if I look ridiculously good at 158 pounds, I'm going to compete as a middleweight.
Yeah.
I'm not dragging off 4 pounds of scale weight just to say I'm a lightweight and look worse. Because if I come in as a full shredded middleweight, I'll do as much damage as I would as a lightweight, but I'll probably be fuller. So I don't know where I'm going to be scale weight wise. I'm not trying to fit into a lightweight class, though, because that, to me, that just makes no sense. To drag off body weight, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me to do that.
Yeah.
I asked this question to AJ as well. So, for example, if you competed in the middleweight and you qualified for the finals and you knew that it had a good opportunity, would you consider pulling down to 154 for the lightweights for the finals and potentially go down that route if you did quite well in the middleweights?
Yeah. Well, it depends what I look like at 158. If I'm peeled at 158, example, why the fuck would I drag off more weight? For what? Like, for what? Just to take off muscle? If I'm 158 and I'm like, okay, cool, you're 75% shredded, then absolutely yes, because there's room to take off fat, providing that I'm not dragging off too much tissue. It's just a fight. It's a fine balance between just making smart decisions and not getting carried away with trying to chase a class. Because if I come in as a depleted 153 lightweight, I'm not going to be in the mix at all to do anything. Like, I need to be coming into these shows shredded with the most amount of muscle possible and full. If I can do that, I think I'll do well. If I come in flat and stringy like I did last time, I'm just going to get fucking second call outs and just go home and be very, very annoyed that I've let myself down again.
And I have 2 salmon fillets.
Huh?
You have 2 salmon fillets.
Yeah, I will do, yeah. I had 4 then post-show.
4 salmon fillets.
Yeah.
I'd answer that question the exact same, to be honest, George. Like, yeah, I think I totally agree. There's no point in pulling off weight unless it's going to make you better. I wouldn't really be that happy sort of going to the finals knowing that I was going to look worse than I did at the qualifier. So, regardless of placings, it just really comes down to what would be the best look. But if you put it on paper, like, obviously when me and Jack are both starting, it makes sense that it's either going to be very close to get under the lightweights, or, we're just going to have to be middleweights. It's as simple as it gets. Shows wise, Jack, do you know what show you want to do, or are you just going to diet at the rate that you should be losing and then pick when you get to it? Like, what's your approach to sort of like planning your shows this year?
I'm looking at the southern shows, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
which is about 20. It's about 28 weeks ish. So 28 weeks, 30 pounds, 33 pounds to lose.
Yeah,
should be pretty easy, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. And that obviously gives you a bit of time between those and then the finals to like either diet break or reverse diet. What's your opinions actually on diet breaks? Like, do you think that you will diet break during the diet before the Southerns, or do you? What's your sort of opinions? Like, have you seen the diet breaks work well with clients, or do you prefer just sticking with double day refeeds? What's your stance?
I think I haven't really used many diet breaks with clients. I've never used one with myself. I have with a few people who are just showing signs of just low motivation, chronic fatigue, physique going backwards. When someone diets for quite a while and they start to look kind of watery.
Yeah, just worse.
Worse. I don't know, man. Like, I think I'd rather just diet all the way into a show. I think if you diet properly for 26, 28 weeks, I think you can go into that looking reasonably fresh. I don't think you're going to look so fucked that you're going to be worse.
Yeah, I agree. You got any thoughts on that, George, at all?
Yeah, what with diet breaks? Sorry.
Yeah, diet breaks.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends if you're ready or not. For me, I think if you can get away with, doing more, if you're ready, if you're not behind, then of course I think they're quite beneficial. Even start reversing your calories. I think. What are your thoughts on reversing calories, Jack, with clients? Will you take them throughout, like towards their first show, or if they're ready, will you start reversing calories at all?
Yeah, for sure. If they're ready on time, then 100%. Like, if they've got enough off and they don't need any more off, then yeah, for sure. If you can start bringing calories up, that's going to be amazing for reducing diet fatigue and bringing a fuller look. Yeah. But most people aren't in that position, aren't they? Realistically, like, how many people are actually in a place where they can start reversing calories into a show? Very few. People aren't generally lean enough, are they?
Yeah. And
compared to as well, you know, like eating more food whilst being on prep, you know, it's quite difficult psychologically, especially for me. I was like, wow, I'm going to eat 3,000 calories. I don't want to do that, you know. I wanted to suffer a little bit more.
That's normal, isn't it, for bodybuilders?
It's easy to eat 3,000 calories when you're doing 25,000 steps. I'll just go for another walk, yeah. just another walk.
That's mad. that amount of expenditure is mad. But I was doing, towards the end of my...
You were doing 30k, weren't you?
Steps, yeah. 30,000 a day. Mad.
You're doing check-ins just whilst walking.
It's mad. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, really, yeah. Don't, mate. I'm a big believer that I don't think anyone should really be visiting above 15,000.
I don't plan on doing 15.
I haven't taken anyone above, well, apart from unintentionally taking George above them, I haven't taken anyone above 15k at any point, really, unless their job just means they have to, like, you know, they're a PT. But even then, I think PTs are fucking lying. Like, you know, I don't think there's many PTs that need to do 20,000. I think they do it out of just like moving too much. Yeah. At the end of the day, what gym are you working in if you're doing 20k steps? You know, you must be walking all over the shop. But yeah, and I think, you know, things like, you know, wearing your Fitbit for the day and making sure it's consistent, things like that is key, because, you know, like even George, like, was taking his Fitbit off and, you know, taking it off here, taking it off there, and just taking it on where he wants to do steps. And that's why the steps just went catastrophically high. So,
what's your thoughts on, for example, cardio, like the Stairmaster, things like that? Do you believe, for myself, I wouldn't do anything else other than the Stairmaster on prep. I believe that Stairmaster is like the GOAT of CV. What's your opinion towards that?
Other people disagree.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion on cardio is that's the only form of cardio I really prescribe, to be honest, for clients, because otherwise, quite a lot of the time, they say to me, like, they don't feel like they're doing anything on a bike or anything like that. It doesn't feel hard. And most people you need to have some intensity on the Stairmaster. Stairmaster's hard. People don't do it because it's hard. The people who say it whittles away their legs usually are the people who have no fucking legs, right? Like, we know, I'm sure we can all think right now about saying any names about people who have critiqued people who are on the Stairmaster, and we've all put, like, on our stories, like, our striated quad Stairmaster. I'm sure we all know. So I think, you know, in my opinion, this is the best form of cardio to do. I don't think you need to overdo it though. I think it can ruin your legs. You need to know when to back off. But yeah, I think that's the only piece of machinery I'll use for CV, for sure.
I think I must admit, like, you know, as much as I don't agree with a lot of, you know, said individuals' views who brought up the idea of the Stairmaster being awful, I do agree to an extent that it's maybe in some situations not the best form of cardio, because let's say you can achieve your rate of loss without using the Stairmaster. So, like, what's that going to do for you?
Yeah.
You're probably going to have better leg training, probably going to have better leg fullness. You're probably going to step on stage with better legs, like, hands down. So, you know, I think when it comes to the nitty gritty, when you, like, need to push, and most naturals need to fucking push, because, you know, you're essentially at a point where you're 28 weeks, 25 weeks deep into a prep. You're very metabolically adapted to what you've done calorically. You have to find something to burn more calories. And at that point, you're fit as a fiddle as well. So, like, try get your heart rate above 100 BPM on a treadmill or a cross trainer. No chance. You know, I can get my heart rate up to like 140 on a cross trainer pretty easily right now. But, you know, in 2 months' time, it's not going to happen, because fitness comes like that. You know, I'm sure both you boys agree, like, fitness just comes like so quick, and you're like, shit, I'm like now really struggling to get my heart rate above, you know, anything decent. So that's where the Stairmaster comes in, because, you know, you can always bump it up a level, and, you know, it's always fucking hard. It's always going to get your heart rate up. For girls as well.
I agree, man.
All females at work.
Smart though. It's about being smart with where you're placing it and how much you're doing.
Yeah, what days and stuff.
You have to do it every day.
Yeah, I mean, I did it when I had it in. I did it really strategically for as long as I could. As long as I could, I kept it away from leg days. I think one of the mistakes that actually, like, we both made when you did half of your 2017 prep was literally the first bit of cardio we did was like both of us on the Stairmaster, and like we both like gassed out at 20 minutes and like, fucking hell, that's too hard. And that was like a poor decision, wasn't it, really? Like, you know, first cardio session of prep, okay, hop on the Stairmaster. You know, you're not really fit enough to do it. Your heart rate's probably closer to like, you're basically, you're soaring way past aerobic thresholds. You're actually into anaerobic thresholds. So it's like you're getting your heart rate as high as it would be after a set of squats, and you're maintaining that for like 20 minutes when you're fat. Yes. Obviously, when you're leaner, your heart rate's less, but that's so damaging, especially for someone big, you know.
Yeah,
I think like Callum, Muscle Mentors Callum, had the Stairmaster in for some of the start of his prep, and it just absolutely wrecked him, like completely wrecked him, because his heart rate was like, you know, 190 BPM for 20 minutes. Just, that's catastrophic, you know. So especially when you're training as hard as we are. But anyway, have you got any more questions, George? Really?
My final one is just, what are you looking most forward to this year, prep-wise?
It's a good question. Just digging in, really. Feeling a little bit shit again. Having a bit, waking up in the morning and thinking, fuck, I'm feeling like dog shit here, but I'm still going to dig in and work as hard as I can. But being smart with it as well. That's probably what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, definitely. I used to love suffering.
So weird, George, you are, mate.
I'm not weird like that. Like, why can't I just be like normal, just chill and just do nothing? But I just want to go for my 7th walk of the day.
You need to get into like bondage in the off season or something, George.
I'm doing a lot of bondage right now, anyway.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, another one of my questions is, federations wise, are you going to compete with all the natural federations, or are you just searching to compete within a couple, or like, what's your plans? Are you going to do the UK BFF South Coast, or?
Yeah, did we went to see that?
Yeah, no, it was awful. Yeah, it's awful. The standard, the depth of competition was just so bad.
First show of the year, UK BFF South Coast.
We met you there, didn't we, George?
Yeah, what?
We met you at the UK BFF South Coast.
Yeah, we did. I remember seeing him.
You're chatting waffle.
No,
I'm not.
We actually did. Swear down.
I'm not. We met you.
We had coffee. We just got coffee. I remember.
Yeah.
Really?
We just got coffee. Yeah. We're at the UK BFF at Portsmouth.
This was in 2017, though.
2017? Was it?
Yes, it was. Or 2018, maybe.
No, it wasn't 18, AJ.
Was it not? Was it 2017?
It was when you continued your prep and I finished.
Okay, is that where we first met George? I swear it was maybe the year after, but then why did I go there the year after?
Maybe you're lying here. You both got smirks on your face.
No,
we're actually serious.
I remember this.
Serious.
Oh,
no, I met you in Costa. You came up and I was like,
yeah.
I think I remember saying to you, like, wow, he's a lot shorter in person.
Yes, mate. And it was Costa, I remember.
Oh, wow.
Was it? No, I think it was Starbucks. Yeah, it was Starbucks. It was definitely Starbucks.
Just watch your vlog. It's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, you vlogged it as well. You were with Nathan.
Was I?
Yes, mate. You came to that fucking show.
Oh,
You were going to uni there.
Yeah, I remember.
UK BFF, Portsmouth.
Oh no, I can't remember.
Are you, mate? You've been smoking way too much weed. You've lost segments of your memory.
I've pretty much.
Me and Jack have gone through chronic stress this year with coaching, and we can still remember
it. Chronic stress.
It's chronic.
Okay.
It is chronic. So anyway, you haven't actually answered the question yet. So it was about federations.
Oh yeah. Probably just going to be the UK, the FBA.
Okay.
And potentially the BNBF. We'll see.
Sure.
I'm not decided on that really.
Yeah. Fair play. So cool. Okay. George, have you got the questions as well, or have I just got the questions? I've got listener questions.
I've not got any questions, but I actually do remember that down in Portsmouth where I weren't with Nathan. I was with someone else. I was with.
Okay.
That was it. I remember that now.
I think you've gained height. Since then.
I think he was one of your clients, Brad.
Brad is back.
Is Brad back?
How do you pronounce his surname, AJ?
Jukowski.
Brad's not back anymore though. He's bailed on quite a few sessions recently.
Oh dear. Well, he's been busy, hasn't he? He's got that new sort of part-time job at.
He's gone back, yeah.
He's gone back talking. He's back in lots of back.
He's back in the office.
It's not an office job.
Not after it was.
Isn't
Okay, so I've got a question here. First one. What's more important, knowledge or experience?
I think both are just as important as each other. 100%, both.
JD asks who's got the higher body count.
JD just asks stupid questions, doesn't he? He always does. I knew he would. He said that to the fucking group chat.
I think George has got the highest body count. he looks most like the murderer in this segment. If you were gonna get murdered, I think I'd most likely get murdered by George. Right. Oh yeah. How much progress do you think you lost out on by training in a poor environment?
Oh, that's a good question. 75% easily.
Yeah. Same. Big
Because
time.
you didn't like it there, did you, either?
No, like I guarantee, like I made probably 75-80% of the progress that I've made this off season by just moving. So yeah, and like obviously for some of the off season I started training at Platinum when it was Platinum. So I kept telling you, I was like, come down to Platinum, and I think when you're stuck in a routine and like you've got your gym, you've got your exercise selection, you don't want to really change it. But obviously when you changed it and you officially joined Phoenix and became an official Phoenix member, you realized what you were missing out on. And also when people are threatening canceling your membership, it's probably time to hop ship.
Yeah, more than time to hop ship.
Yeah, I think it's a shame though, because that gym was actually mint, wasn't it? There was a point where that gym was really, really good. There was a point where there was bodybuilders, like proper bodybuilders training in there. There was that Aaron guy who was trained by Jordan. That's when I sort of first started really following Matt, like really properly following Jordan. He was squatting 5 plates for a set of 10, and there's loads of people like motivating those, pulling 300 kilos for reps off the floor. And now you can't do that without getting told off. So
I know.
Times change, but yeah, at least you're in a better environment now. Do you plan to move anywhere, or do you plan to stay in Brighton for the foreseeable bit? Obviously, you've got family down there and things like that. So
really, it's a tough question, mate, to answer because I just don't know at the moment. Obviously, I've just got into, well, not just got into it, but I've been in a relationship quite a while now, almost 6 months, which is quite. Me and Ali want to kind of spend more time together. You know what it's like, Adrian, when you moved in with Nanny, didn't you? So I don't know where I'm going to be, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if me and her moved in together at some point this year, if I'm honest. Because we've been talking about it quite a lot, and I don't know where I'll be. I don't know if that'll be in Brighton or where. I don't really care, to be honest, as long as there's a good gym for me to train at, and everything back home, family stuff's in an okay place. Then I don't really care where I live, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and that makes sense for sure. I think it's one of the things you're probably going to have to do at some point is move somewhere where the gym facilities are slightly better.
Yeah.
And living prices are maybe a little bit lower as well.
Not that it's expensive here, yeah.
Not that matters, obviously, you make good money, but it's just you feel like you're wasting your money. Like even me living in Birmingham was wasting my money because it's just way too pricey for what it was. Even though it's up north, it was living in a city centre in the middle of a city, so it's not cheap.
Wow.
But yeah, cool. Ali asks if you're single, which is the normal question.
Why would she ask that? It's not even funny though.
Mohammed.video asks, where do you shop?
Where do I shop?
Where do you shop?
Usually, because the Waitrose is just around the corner. The influx of the coronavirus pandemic, I've been driving up to Burgess Hill to go to the Tesco.
You've been driving all the way to Burgess Hill to avoid the corona.
When you asked me about the podcast, I said I'm just driven up to Burgess Hill.
The question is, why do they call it Corona? Because isn't Corona a beer?
I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's the novel Corona.
The novel?
Yeah, because it's novel, isn't it? It's
what,
like
a novel stimulus?
New stimulus, isn't it?
What does corona mean new in Chinese?
I don't know, maybe, but that's what I saw in the news. It was just called novel corona.
Novel corona.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it coronavirus though. We all joke about it. If we get it, we're actually fucked though. Like,
oh yeah, that would be a novel stimulus that wouldn't be welcomed.
no, wouldn't. It would be.
Deload wouldn't be enough.
Is there a respiratory pneumonia disease or viral infection?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so someone put up like some sort of like comparison of like, you know, the fact that like AIDS kills like a lot of people every year, but like no one's like crying or calling, like shouting it out on social media. It's just because like it's new. Like whenever someone's new, like, you know, obviously like so many diseases are lethal and kill people every fucking day, you know, and the death count from this, what is it? Only like, only, you know, it's 800. Like, so, you know, right now there's people getting it and they just get cured. So I think in the UK, especially, you're pretty safe if you get it.
Yeah, you probably won't die, but you don't want to go into isolation for 14 days, really, do you?
No, I mean, it's not convenient. No, it's not convenient. But no, it's not convenient.
Oh, AJ,
we title this Jack had Corona
episode. Part you off to the Royal 3 for 14 days.
The what?
Royal 3. That's where they take you.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
nice. Is it not a private segment of the Princess Royal?
Shut up. Princess Royal, yeah.
With a spa. Do they not take you to Ockenden?
Hospital, isn't it? The Princess
I was born at Princess Royal.
So I've got a question. Top 3, or your best top 3 advice for being a successful online coach?
Top 3 pieces of advice. Okay, so
clients.
Sorry?
I said don't take on female clients.
don't work with female clients.
That is a joke, by the way. Jack works with female clients and they're fine.
Yeah, so number 1, I would say do a lot for free at the start. So do a lot for low cost. Give as much as you can to that individual for low cost, of course, because when you're starting a business, you haven't really got any grounds to really be advertising much, because you haven't got any results with clients, essentially. Number 2, you need to be getting actual results with clients. So you can't be posting most musculars and side chests and just every week on your Instagram and be expecting to bring clients in. It's just not going to happen. And number 3, just show the biggest and most amount of care to each person you work with. And number 4, don't be afraid to make errors. I will hold my hands up this year and say I've done some really cool, some good stuff this year with clients, like some really good stuff. Like my first year prepping clients, I got 5 client wins and like 10 British invites, which is pretty cool for my first year doing it. But I've also made some errors, some big errors. And I'm not afraid to admit that. So don't do too much as a coach. Don't get too greedy as a coach, because it's very easily done.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely agree. Someone asked, actually it's that enhancing physique account, the Photoshop account. They said, you're offered $5,000 to prep out of underground gym. Do you accept this offer?
No.
$5,000. I wouldn't accept $5,000. I wouldn't accept $10,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't accept $100,000.
No, definitely not. Someone asked, if you end up doing the same shows, will you talk to each other on show day? Yes, of course we fucking will, you melt.
Yeah, that's a stupid question, because bodybuilding's not fucking...
I'm joking, you're not a melt, mate, by the way. He's actually a nice guy. Oh, God. Dog's here. Dog's upstairs. She's probably here by the audio.
Yeah. If you had to pick...
Have we answered the question?
What? So would we talk on show day?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd ignore each other, would we?
No, I doubt it. No.
Well, why would we ignore each other? That's weird.
I mean, we might. You know, we might just have our headphones in, probably beats like Phil Heath backstage.
We wouldn't ignore each other, though, mate. We're not fucking competing to save our life, are we?
Beats. I'll be pumping up with my beats.
Obviously, it's important. It means a lot to us, but it's not more important than like fucking like being an actual like close friendship, is it? It's stupid.
Yeah. No. At the end of the day, you know, like you're there to enjoy the day, you know, and I witnessed it this year, especially with Jack Richardson. Like, I've never seen someone. Sorry, like George, you're relaxed as well, but probably not as relaxed as Jack. And I've never seen someone like just so carefree on show day, and that really showed in his looks when he was carefree. BNBF Midlands carefree. You could have been Northern carefree, but the finals, like, it changed a little bit. Like, he took it a little too seriously, in my view, and he was putting himself under crazy pressure. That it really it showed in his physique a little bit. So, not that you should approach a show week or a peak like totally relaxed and like not care. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you know, not treating it like you said, like life or death or anything like that. I think it's important to just have a bit of fun and enjoy yourself. Like, that's why we're kind of doing it. At the end of the day, it's also just like, it is an amateur bodybuilding competition. Like, you know, we're not at the Olympia, not yet.
It's true though, but maybe even if it was a pro bodybuilding competition, like,
you still got to have fun.
Yeah, and it's still not more important than fucking life, is it? Come on. It's like, yeah, bodybuilding's very important, but it's not everything, is it?
Yeah, agreed. Any more questions your end, Josh?
But enhancing physique, do you boys disagree with each other on training, nutritional supplements? Anything that we disagree?
I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. I think we'll probably agree with most stuff.
I haven't listened to anything today and I've gone, I disagree with that. So
I think we're all very similar, to be honest.
Especially with our training, like the mindset.
Training, absolutely. Nutrition, I don't see anything that's really different.
No.
Supplementation, I mean, it's minor in natural bodybuilding, but I don't think there's any to think that we disagree with.
No, agreed.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty similar on that front.
If you had to pick one source of protein, fat, and carbs, which would it be?
One source of protein, fats, and carbs.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I would say carbohydrates, pink and whites.
That's not a typical bodybuilder carb.
You introduced me to them though.
I know I did, yeah.
No,
I used to have a whole packet of them.
I would say carbs, probably oats when I like eating. Fats, dark chocolate when my appetite's good. Protein, probably 5% lean beef. I like that when I'm somewhat hungry.
Yeah, cool, good options. What's your opinions on like full body splits?
I think very beneficial for people who can only train a certain amount of times a week. You can make tons of progress if you're rinsing a full body split for 3 times a week and you're quite new to the gym. You'll make loads of progress.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. And that's pretty much the majority of the good questions I have, to be honest. I think we're close to an hour as well, aren't we? Haven't you got to go somewhere, Jack?
About 5:15.
Oh, okay, you're good.
5. I've just been sent a message from JDA, of course.
I see.
Message there. It's always JDA though, isn't it?
He is a nightmare though. He's getting us into lots of trouble.
Yeah, he is. He is actually is. Yeah, because
got you and George into trouble.
Yeah, he did. But JDA sent a message to Jake saying that it was him. George, did Jake say that to you?
No. Just calls me a whopper. I'm like, what?
I explained it to him and he was like, it's sweet.
Maybe I should have done that. I just kind of ignored it and sort of just kind of got on with it. But no, it's not good that, because don't look at this person's story, you know. I
don't either. I don't follow them. I do now.
But because my name's on there. Bloody. I don't know. Very annoying.
It's the group chats. It's the group chats that's the issue.
It is, yeah. Unfortunately,
you got the 3.0, which is the problem, isn't it?
They cause problems. Yeah. I thought about leaving it, to be honest. Leaving it to basically create more social security.
Yeah.
Fun though. Anyway,
3.0.
Think we should wrap this up here, guys?
Yeah, for sure. Has it been an hour?
Yeah, been an hour pretty much. We started at 10 past 4, I think. So, yeah. Thank you very much for listening, guys. If you managed to listen to the whole of this, and I think it was a pretty informative episode, to be honest, this one. So, obviously, Jack, we look forward to seeing and following your prep. I will almost definitely be at the Southern, so hopefully you'll be ready for that one, and I'll get to watch.
What shows are you going to do, AJ?
I'm planning the Northern, buddy. Yeah.
No BNBF?
No, it's not within my. It's really not within my goals for this year. Like, obviously, the main goal is to try and get to Worlds in some fashion, whether that's through qualifying as like the best under 75 or qualifying as the lightweight winner or the lightweight second place, because I think with it being the 10th anniversary of the UKDFBA, they might be more. They're giving out a little bit more pro cards at the finals than they have done in the past. So that means that if you come second, for example, in the class, then the guy that turns pro goes to Worlds as a pro. He's already pro. So then you're the second, then you go as the amateur, and then you get your chance to win your pro card at Worlds, kind of thing. So obviously, with that being the main goal, I just want to look my best for that. So I knew that last time, like, see, doing the BNBF is great and everything, but I've never seen someone in recent years do both and win both. And, you know, like, without getting it twisted, if I do a show, I want to win it. So, you know, if I can't win both, then, and I proved that in 2017, you know, I did get beaten, but I still didn't win both. So, apparently Taff is coming back as well, which is good. So,
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're in completely different categories, haven't you?
I don't know, man. Don't know if I make middles, and he actually, like,
Actually gets in shape.
oh my God, no, I wasn't going to say that. If he gets leaner than last time, because I think, I think, he's a big fucking dude, and he's a really nice dude, to be fair. He's one of the nicest people I've met. But if he, you know, gets in better condition than he did last time, he'll probably be a middleweight.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether, you know, obviously, like, went to Miami with the BNBF and things like that. I don't know whether he's sort of, like, you know, kind of driven to that federation. But speaking to a few people, I may as well just speak to Taff at some point, see what he's doing. But speaking to a few people, I think he's planning to do maybe even PCA as well, and like Classic, which, to be honest, he could probably do quite well in.
Yeah, sure.
He's a big fucking geezer, isn't he?
Yeah,
I won't be doing PCA in Classic because I'm not big enough for that.
How do you do men's physique?
Yeah, I could do. Yeah,
You got a good waist. Good
perfect abs.
Got good midsection though.
Yeah, great midsection. I mean, I could do that in probably 12 weeks.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, this is true. My upper body will be men's physique ready in 12 weeks. My legs will look like still the same, pretty much.
Yeah,
not much difference.
Takes you ages to get your legs lean, doesn't it?
It does, mate. It does. It's why I'm like, so I start my prep on 24th, so 2 weeks. So I'm giving it 28 weeks for the first show as well. So I think that will work well. I think the Southern's like a couple of weeks before the Northern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then obviously if you're not ready for the Southern, you could do the Northern. If I'm not ready for the Northern, I could do the Heart of England. So at least we've got like a little bit of a backup.
Yeah, for sure.
But it'd be ideal for you to be ready for the Southern, really, wouldn't it? Because it's closer, less travel, less stress.
Yeah, agree.
That's why I want to do the Northern. It's like right around the corner. Well, not right around the corner, but you know,
I've got one more question, and then we can go.
Is it for you?
No, it's for me and you. It's a question.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Elliot Fitness. Would you like to compete against me this year?
Absolutely, 100%. Been talking about it for ages, so I want to get on stage with you. I think when it's going to happen is going to be the British finals, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Provided we're both in the same weight category, we'll be up against each other and we can get some.
That'd be very cool. I reckon that would spark quite a lot of social media interest, you know?
It will.
Yeah,
and that's good. And that promotes natural bodybuilding, which is the fucking goal. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, game on. And it's good, like, it's motivating as well. Like, obviously we're both, I know how hard you can work. You know how hard I can work. Like, so that pushes each other, which is great. You know, you kind of need someone like that. It's like, you know, when like Nathan Dasher and stuff was calling out people and okay, cool. Like, he was probably a bit aggressive and we won't be like that. But, you know, it's nice to know there's someone else working hard that you kind of like know personally. I think it makes a good difference.
And the thing of our physiques as well, we both have strong points and weaker points, don't we?
Both for sure. I think we have very different physiques, to be honest. So it'd be cool to see them up against each other. Because obviously, like, you know, you're taking pictures in the gym next to each other and things like that. But they don't tell the full story. Like you need to get, you know, both of us shredded on stage next to each other, and that's where you tell the difference.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Final
cool.
one. Will there be the return of the top knot?
No, no way, George,
No,
mate.
not for me either.
No, I didn't really. I don't know why I grew it really, mate. To be honest, I just thought it looked good, but then I realised it didn't in some pictures. I think George, you told me it looked shit once. You know.
It looks good when you're lean, but when you start gaining body fat on your face, like now, I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just want to just give it the chop.
Because when you're lean, the whole slick back look looks so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. It looks like you look like fucking like, you know, you look good. You look good. You wake up and you're like, fuck, I look good. And then like, I wake up now, I'm like, fucking hell, I can't wait to diet. You know, avoid mirrors at all costs.
You got a big mirror next to you, boy. You got no.
I have, mate. Luckily, usually I'm like this way, so I don't look in that at all. Apart from post-workout. Roger that.
When are you down in Brighton, AJ? Are you down anytime soon?
Easter,
Yeah.
Easter. I'm going to spend the day with my dad watching some touring cars. Brands Hatch.
You always go there, don't you, every year?
Yeah, I do every year. It's like I bought it for him one Christmas, and then he bought it for me the last 2 Christmases. So it's like kind of our thing. So yeah, that'd be good. But I'll probably come down for like a couple of days or something and train at Phoenix because they're getting some new Panatta stuff, aren't they? So it'd be nice to try that.
Is that good? Never used it.
Panatta stuff's nice. Yeah, you'll probably be able to stack quite a lot of it though. It's quite light, especially the chest press.
Is it?
So but it should be good when they get some more pieces like that in, actually branded stuff.
Yeah.
Not fake hammer strength.
Mark's just sitting out the back in his garage, just making it, isn't he?
He is, yeah, with a welder. hammer strength pull down.
Actually, Mark was actually really nice. Like, he really cares about the gym, which is great.
He's a fucking great guy, yeah, of course. Because like he had loads of shit happen to it, and then he's basically like built it from the ground up again, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So
literally loads of shit as well.
Anyway, yeah, I bet. Anyway, I think we should probably stop recording because like this is not helpful for anyone at all, is it? Like someone's just learned when I'm next going down to Brighton to see my dad. Still fucking recording. I think I should just press stop. All right, so we're gonna press stop now. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you all at Easter.